Adrian Denny right outside the Maverick Center with Grizzlies CEO Kevin Bruder, who announced on Monday the new head coach and general manager for the Utah Grizzlies. And it's Tim Branham. And Kevin, we talked about it. It wasn't necessarily something you were expecting to do this summer, is have to go out and hire a new head coach. But with Kevin Colley departing after 6 seasons here at the Maverick Center, you went out, you had a full board search, and you found your guy.
No, absolutely. It was a surprise, and very happy with the process that we went through. And through the process, it became very evident that Tim had tremendous energy, was a proven winner, and wanted to be here. And we expect him to bring the same quality work ethic that made the Reading Royals successful here to Utah.
You look at Tim's resume, 4 years in Reading. While he was in Reading, they had the second most wins in the ECHL, 2 division championships. They won 7 playoff series and a Kelly Cup championship. So you like that on paper. But then I think as you were going through the process with Tim, you could see what made them so successful, the pieces, the inner workings.
He is a winner, pure and simple. The moment he walked in the room, he took command, and it was very evident what his goals and objectives were. And very impressed at the toolbox that we had here in Utah. And I believe we just got better.
Kevin Bruder with the CEO of the Utah Grizzlies. One thing that I asked Tim over the last week, and it's ironic because when the Reading Royals made that regime change that got them started in the right direction 4 years ago, they were in last place, and they hired their head coach here in Salt Lake City. Tim was on that team, and I said, what clicked from that point on that got things going the right way in Reading? And he said it started with recruiting, which I know was a real hot button for you as you talked to the candidates.
No, absolutely. This league is about recruiting, and it starts early. And Tim and the coaching staff in Reading had a proven formula that works, and they start extremely early. And Tim's done his research, and he's ready to roll and ready to bring that work ethic and knowledge in the recruiting process to us here with the Utah Grizzlies.
You talked about Tim wanting to be in Utah, and from early on he was very persistent, and he made it known that he wasn't going to make a decision on anything until he got a decision from the Utah Grizzlies, because that's where he wanted to be. And I think it started on that road trip back in 2009 when the Reading Royals came in and made a coaching change.
No, very, very glad to have Tim here. He's he's touched base the last several years, and he's a young up-and-coming coach, and definitely made it clear that Utah would be a spot for him and his family. Anxious to have Tim here, anxious to have his wife Nicole here, and we see great things happening for us.
You certainly did your research. It wasn't just talking to Tim, it was talking with the people that Tim's worked with, NHL executives, former coaches that he's been with, and just going down the line, and everything checked out.
No, absolutely. When we went down to it, we had solid references, we had solid referrals. We talked to many talented coaches, and it's great when you have to make a tough decision, and it's great when there's a candidate that stands clear.
And one thing about it was he stood clear here in the ECHL, and it's a different level. The coaches at this level aren't working 6 months a year and going home to their cottage during the off season. It's 12 months a year in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the head coaches are general managers essentially and responsible for everything. And Tim had a background and experience with everything that a head coach is going to do. He's going to step right in here to Utah, go straight to work. It's really not going to be much of a transition to what it was in Reading.
Tim knew the role very well, and had a very strong plan, and starting to implement that plan immediately. Friday afternoon, after the paperwork was done, he was at work.
Kevin, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
That's Grizzlies CEO Kevin Bruder here on UtahGrizzlies.com.